made a bunch of videos showing you guys the process of how I make some of the plush toys that I sell in my Etsy shop, Fairweather Friends. And I definitely hope to make more of those soon. Quite often, I'm asked to give away the patterns for these plushies so you guys can make them on your own, but for now, that's not really something I'm willing to do. One reason for that is that I'd like to be the only person who can make these designs, at least for now. This Etsy shop is my main source of income, and it's what I spend most of my time working on. Another reason is that the process of designing plush toy patterns takes a lot of time and effort. So I thought that I'd show you how I design my plushies, and then maybe you could use this process to design your own. My plushies start out as a rough drawing. Over time, I've developed the basic style of my plushie line, so I try to keep similar features and repeat elements across each piece. I have to look at a lot of photos of the animal, studying poses and proportions and the general shape. There are some animals with very obvious defining features, while others could be mistaken for other animals if I'm too simple with my sketch. Drawing original characters does not really come naturally to me, so this step is usually pretty rough. The important part is that I get the basic shape down because I can fix any weirdness in the next step, which is entering the drawing into Adobe Illustrator and tracing it with the pen tool. I take a quick photo of the drawing and place it into a new document to do this. I chose to work with vectors for my patterns because they can be really easily manipulated and resized as I test out the new patterns. I mess with the shapes, try out some colors, and I eventually end up with a basic, less rough drawing of the design. Next, I have to prepare this vector art to be printed so that I can turn it into a plush toy. But this is where it gets a little funny. The design is going to look different once it's stuffed, and also the fabric that I use stretches in one direction but not in the other. So then I try to predict for that by stretching out the body shape just a little bit. I can easily separate all the different pieces out onto a page so that I can cut them out and use them as patterns. Then I print it out and I cut out all of the pieces. Then I make it into a plushie. The first one usually turns out pretty weird, but it's a little bit easier to stretch the pattern correctly when I can see which parts will need fixing. Then I print out the new pattern and cut it out and try making a new plushie out of that one, and then if there are any more changes, which there usually are, I go back into the program, mess with the pattern a little more, print it out, make another pattern out of it, and eventually, if I'm lucky, a few plushies later, I end up with one that I like. Sometimes I even revisit this process with older characters as I get more practice so that I can kind of improve them as I go. And some plushies don't make it out of this process at all if I can't get them to look right. Once I get the body shape right, I work on a bunch of different faces until I'm happy with one of them. Here is the finished product that I was designing during this video. She is a super cute little white cat, and she's part of a line of cat plushies that I've been working on for the past few months. These little guys are now available in my Etsy shop, which you can visit at fairweatherfriends.etsy.com. So hopefully that gave you a better understanding of the work it takes to design these characters and the reason why I'm not willing to just give away their patterns. If you're interested in learning how to do this, I would definitely recommend getting some plushie pattern books like these just to kind of get a better idea of where to start. If I ever decide to release some of my plushie patterns, I would love the opportunity to do it in a book like this. Someday I would love to learn how to make 3D patterns like this. For now, I'm not the best with spatial reasoning, so I think that I'll continue to design two-dimensional plushies that have the same shape on the front and the back. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you have any crafty questions that you'd like me to answer in a future video.